Hey guys, this is Cyrus the Great and how are you? Hope everything is going just fine, and we are finally in the next commentary video for Medieval to Total War. I do apologize for uploading video not so often, but you know, family and school stuff like that were keeping me busy, so... and that's gonna be a first episode of my new playback of a new series, and I will call this something like pro players or pro plays. The reason why I'm gonna do it is to showing the best players, the best moves, best battles right from the multiplayer. And this will be not only entertaining as always, I hope, but only you will learn something new, tactics, moves, traps or stuff like that. So that's gonna be the first episode, and this is 1 versus 1 on vanilla base game, of course vanilla mains base game, and I'm playing against one of the best players which left in multiplayer. This is Criminal Copy Kill, one of my first teachers, as I taught already in some of the videos. And this is early period, 6 cavalry max, no gun LR, and of course 10 key each player. The battles will start really quickly, so let's take a look on at the army compositions. I got 4 units of Fiddle Knights, 1 unit of Milet Knights, all cavalry with sword and shield upgrade, and 1 general's bodyguard behind right here. And as infantry I got standard 4 dismounted Fiddle Knights, and something completely new. I'm gonna show you my tactic I made for my maybe for training or whatever, but it works really well against pretty much everyone I face it. I got 4 units, no, I got 6 units of religious fanatics, and for me they are one of the best units you can get in the early period and later periods as well, because first they are cheap, they are cost effective of course, and they are two-handers, so they can be able to kill some cavalry, and they got the high moral attribute, so that is really damn helpful if you have to hold the line while your cavalry will do rest of the job. So that's my tactic, and the Criminal Copy Kill is using his aggressive gameplay. The funny fact is that I learned how to play aggressively from him, and he's got Byzantine Empire, a really strong friction in this money and period. So he's got 4 he's got 4 units of cataphracts or cataphracti or something like that. Some Varangian Guard, looks like 4 of them, I believe. Let me check this out. Maybe 3 of them. Some dismounted Byzantine Lancers, some Byzantine Spearmen as cover and mid shields, and this 1 unit of the Light Lancer, because Criminal Copy Kill loves cavalry microing and light cavalry as well. I prefer heavy cavalry. I love light cavalry too, but I prefer use them in expansions, you know, where the cavalry and infantry are more balanced. So the battle will start really quickly, and without wasting time on skirmish, because I got 1 unit of peasant crossbows somewhere. I believe they are here, peasant crossbows. And here is the funny fact you shall know, that even if peasant crossbows, they are still effective units against other armored units, because crossbow has the armor penetration and they got anti-armor bonus. So if you are wondering to who shall you bring, the peasant archers or peasant crossbows, in most cases you shall bring the peasant crossbows or crossbowmen, whatever. So now my Fiddle Knights are charging, and this battle looks pretty even. He's got, of course, the advantage of the cavalry forces. And see this is how pro plays. The cavalry and infantry is just behind, maybe 5 meters. I got my feudal knights charging to these cataphracts and religious fanatics, and I used my general to kill out this, to get rid of these Byzantine lancers, because I hate having open back to cavalry chargers, and this will be clear defeat for me. And this is my first mistake in this game. The infantry, I forgot to give them orders. I don't know why. Maybe I was drunk or maybe tired. I don't know. So here my religious fanatics are fighting up to that, and these feudal knights are shaken. Some counter charge from my side. But I was able to manage to rout some of these peasant archers, because he's got some peasant archers. The Byzantine Empire doesn't have crossbows in the base game and the mods, and and my general screwed up. I shall say I screwed up with my crowing. I was busy fighting over on other flanks. But I surrounded this unit of Varangian Guard and dismounted Byzantine Lancers. They are gonna break really quickly. And look at this, how balance of power is really even at this point. Alright, my left flank is pretty much completely destroyed. Only what I have left is my religious fanatics. And they are gonna get sweet charge from this light cavalry. So, of course, some road. But I believe they will go back.
Only half of our force remains.
And this looks better for me on the other side, on my right flank. These Byzantine spearmen have shit morale. They got morale 3, so they are routed, and now this will be interesting. Some dismounted Byzantine lancers trying to engage my peasant crossbows, but I got my general ready to respond, and they will rout, I believe. Maybe not now. So all I have left is my heavy infantry, pretty much untouched, and some religious fanatics. This dismounted Byzantine spearmen came back from routing. Maybe I shall chase them, but see this was a dangerous gap right here. So some peasant archers returned, and now using the flame mode to decrease morale of my guys and cause them to break. Some cataphracts wavering using their maces, and was the scout book? I believe no, and they routed. So let's look at balance of power. Looks pretty much still even. All his cavalry left is this Jonas bodyguard with the 12 guys in the unit, and some cataphracts, like 19. And my cavalry is pretty much depleted. 5 guys of 5 minded knights and some generous bodyguard trying to get some of these peasant archers and cause them to rout. And this battle was really micro heavy. I mean, there was no break or 1 minute of break. I had to do it quick and effective, of course. I managed to rob this Varangian Guard, and now this ridiculous charge from this general bodyguard. Of course, is gonna get wrecked some of my dismounted feudal knights. My peasant crossbows, I believe they will came back. And last stand of the cataphracts, they are shaken, they are wavering, and finally they broken. And my religious fanatics saving the day. See this? They killed 2 or maybe even 3 Jonas bodyguard soldiers. So that's gonna be really effective if you compare the price and statistics. And I don't know I couldn't allow myself to chase down these units because there was a gap, my infantry was open to the church. My melee knights charging through these cataphracts and my infantry right here. Where's my general? I have no idea. Jonas, oh, here it is. Jonas bodyguard down to 2 guys. And next charge to these peasant archers is gonna rout them in the seconds. Oh, this guy just fly out. And now this will be the last stand of his generous bodyguard. So as can you see, if you play against the better players, in this case against one of the best players which left in this game, you can't allow yourself to make so many mistakes in a short time. I mean, you can maybe make one mistake, as I did, and I was lucky because I screw up with my infantry micro at the first stage, and I was lucky that I saved most of them pretty much without paying attention. So you have to be careful and you have to be effective, so that's why you shall play against all types of players, against randoms, to test new tactics or army setups. See this, how cavalry is overpowered? They literally obliterated my units of dismounted feudal knights. And now maybe I shall do general versus general, but who cares? So you shall play against random players to test out the new things, new stuff, new army comps, new tactics, and against better players to improve your macro and your engine.
Our men have slain the enemy
Engine knowledge and more experience. I play against all types of players, and so far I'm happy for my results. So I got the victory, and the battle was very close. Hope it was pleasure to watch as well. Look, even kills amount is pretty even. He got more kills than I. Which unit got the most kills? Minded Knights and Religious Fanatics. Each unit did really well. And now let's move on to the next battle. He said rematch. I said okay, so let's watch it.
Units, await my order.
There we go. We are in the rematch. I got my Hungarian forces, 4 units of feudal knights, 1 unit of general's bodyguard, and because they have no light cavalry, I got this Hungarian nobles with little swords, but high morale and good melee attack when it comes to fight against light cavalry. Let me put triple speed because there's no sense to watch this deploying. And now Criminal Copykill got his Sicily forces, and he won last tourney like half year ago using the Sicily, so this won't be easy. He's got some Norman Knights, the best cavalry in the early period, some dismounted Norman Knights, some and I believe, yeah, mounted sergeants, light cavalry, and the peasant archers as 4 units of peasant archers as support fire and mid shields. So my Hungarian nobles are far away. That was pretty much a mistake. And see, you shouldn't. Let's pause it. The infantry is too away from the main forces. I shall wait 10 seconds most likely. And these feudals are too far as well. You cannot allow yourself for doing this against a player with skill like that. So I got my general versus general, I believe, but this charge was missed. And the charge on the straight through the line to push through. In Rome 1 you could push through, in Medieval 2 you can't do it exactly because there is cavalry book, and he was able to rout my 2 units of Fiddle Knights and surround my general with this cheap Italian militia.
From fire to flame, our general lies slain upon the
So
battlefield.
pretty much he won at this stage. I lost my general, and in the early period this is maybe much more important than in all periods, because these Crowd Axemen have decent morale, not low but decent. But I lost completely my right flank, and my Hungarian nobles are routing. I don't remember, seems like I charged them to these Norman Knights, but it won't work so well. So, if you want to cause the troops to chain out, be sure to surround general with 3 or 4 units, if it won't open your gaps in your line, and kill him, and the rest will be easy, at least in this period. You have to be careful. I'm trying now to get some hammer and anvil, but this is gonna be useless. Wow, of course I routed this one unit, the Norman Knights, they will came back. Some charges,
We have lost half of our men.
but my guys are surrounded, and pretty
Only
much
half the enemy force
good game.
remains.
And the funny fact is we played on grassy plain, but I hosted this on in the winter, so this looks more clear, and it's easier to talk about the tactics and carnage, because you see them on the terrain. And here's some Hungarian nobles charge. See this, they got these funny little swords, like pirates almost. And now he's charging right to this Crowd Axeman. They got low morale, they lost general. The next charge from my side, trying to surround this modern Norman Knights. And here is the useful fact that you shall be very careful with charging of missile cavalry, but the crossbows, the mounted crossbows, are much weaker than their archers. I mean, the mounted archers haven't this penetration armor trait, but they are much better in the melee combat and surrounding and engaging other units. My Bosnian archers trying to do some damage. So, as I guessed, this went for defeat for me, because
Something changes in the course of battle. For the
maybe I shall get
fortunes
the same religious fanatics tactic out, or maybe take Byzantine Empire, I have no idea. Pretty much I didn't expect that light cavalry. I forgot that there are some players that still use it effectively.
This defeat is a bitter drink.
So, this guy
Time it will be our foe that
came
comes
back to
from
home,
this
I hope,
cup.
and a clear defeat for me. GG WP to our good game, well played, to criminal copy kill. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you learned something new. Hope you enjoyed this first episode of this playback on this series. And we are out of time for today. See you next time. Have a nice day.